Big Val, you'll never guess what I found.
What you doing in there?
Behold, the ultimate ride. I'm taking this baby to see how fast she can go. Just a little spin around the backyard. Well, don't get yourself hurt on that thing, okay? Backyard's this way. Have fun. Don't doubt the magic of the pantry. Hey, what's up with the glove? Yeah, I burnt myself with the hot glue gun last night, and we're serving this at social hour tomorrow, so I wanted to be safe. Whisk your egg whites until they're foamy all the way through to the bottom. There'll be a stiff mountain peak when you lift your whisk. Plop this in another bowl, and you don't have to wash your bowl this way. Cream together a cup of butter and 2 cups of sugar. And while that's creaming, sift together 1.5 cups of cake flour, a teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, and back at your mixer. Scrape down your bowl and make sure nothing's hiding on the bottom. Add your yolks in one at a time. Add it in, beat it in, add it in. You got it! And a teaspoon of vanilla extract, which complements the chocolate flavor. It gets in there and it says, "How do you do, Mr. Chocolate? You're looking mighty brown today." Now alternate everything in. 1/3 of the flour, 1/2 the buttermilk. And that baker's chocolate that you melted with a 1/2 cup of boiling water earlier, yep, you just put it in there, give it a mix around, and in 15 minutes it's like ready. But make sure you let it cool at least to room temperature so you don't cook the batter when you add it in. And the rest of the buttermilk and flour. Now you fold in the egg whites. Move your spatula from the bottom to the top, gradually bringing up and over the batter. And keep doing this while you turn the bowl. It's kind of fun here. Now you know why it's called folding. And every once in a while, we cut down the middle to see if there's anything hiding in the central fusion. And spray your pans with baking spray with flour and line them with parchment paper on the bottom. Divide your batter between the 3. This recipe will work for 8 or 9-inch pans. We're using an 8-inch to get the tall effect. Drama. And these are cake strips. They're just strips of fabric that Big Val there soaked in cold water, and they change the baking process so you get flat tops every time. And bake for 35 to 40 minutes until a toothpick comes out clean. Let's see how fast you can go when the floor beneath you disappears. Whoa! Oh! 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 And while the cakes are baking, let's get started on this chocolate ganache frosting. It's super simple, but it takes a long time to cool. 10 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. You can do 8, but 10 came in the bag, so what the hey, huh? 8 ounces of heavy cream and 2 tablespoons of light corn syrup. And just melt everything together. This is a double boiler, by the way. It's just a metal bowl over top boiling water. This is the gentle way to melt things. If you melt chocolate too fast and too hot, it can split. And then it gets greasy and lumpy, and there's just no going back. Set it on the counter to cool, and it takes a ridiculously long time to cool. And it'll form a skin, so give it a stir every once in a while. It'll melt right back on in. Hey! Whoa, this thing has wings! Wow! Nice! Woohoo! Whoa, look at this trick! The famous coconut and pecan frosting. The original cake only had this frosting between the layers and on top, nothing on the sides. We like it better with the ganache all fancied up on the sides, and we show you how we did it in a little bit. In your favorite saucepan, take 1 cup of evaporated milk, 4 yolks. Yeah, what do you do with the whites? You can freeze them for later and make Italian meringue buttercream. Whisk those together and add half a cup of butter and 1 cup of sugar. And cook these for 12 to 15 minutes. When it reaches 200 degrees, it'll start to boil and toil and roil. Make sure to leave room in your pan. Drama. Love it. It'll get nice and thick. It'll start to turn a deep yellow and almost a golden brown. And it'll leave a distinct path behind your spatula. It's ready. Pour it into your coconut and add 1 cup of chopped pecans. We like to chop them smaller than what comes in the package. It makes it easier to cut the cake later. Let's see you dodge the dynamite. Holy muffins, is that dynamite? The ganache frosting should be nice and cool by now. And so are the cakes and the famous coconut pecan frosting. Let's put this all together. You'll be spreading the famous frosting onto each layer, so we divided it into thirds so you can see what it looks like. It's not a lot, it's like a little bit. German's chocolate cake, what it was originally named, was actually created by homemaker Mrs. George Clay in 1957. It was published in the Dallas Morning News in the Recipe of the Day section. And around the same time, a similar recipe was featured on TV. And from that day forward, it's become a part of American culture. To get the fancy side, we have to first make sure it's all even. And we use a bench scraper for that. A few complete turns with it, and voila. Then our fancy tool, we press gently and keep it steady as we turn the cake. The trick is to keep it straight up and down. Big Bat's concentrating real hard there. Go back and fill it in and keep scraping in complete rotations. Then for the final scrape, we heat the tool with hot water, dry it off, and scrape 1 complete rotation. This is kind of fun, huh? Hey, what's this button for? Woo! There was just enough to pipe around the edge. Fill in the pool with the rest of the famous frosting. Is everything okay out here? Street lights will be on soon. Having a great time! Not one word, Jones. Not one word.